Welcome to the Igorro show. And tonight we're going to talk about Dawn Post and feature 3 of the Dawn Post masks from the 1970s. So enjoy. Dr. Jekyll as Mr. Hyde. Pretty terrifying. Let's take it off its little holder here because it's got those weird eyes. It freaks me out. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's, hasn't had enough sleep. It's like Alice Cooper with his eyes closed. This is a Bud Westmore mask. Although Bud really didn't do the work. Everybody else did. Maybe Jack Keevan did the work. But anyway, this was the Hyde mask that they used for Abbott Costello meets Dr. Jekyll as Mr. Hyde. That's a long title. Ed Parker was the stuntman who did all the stunts as Mr. Hyde. Boris Karloff played the doctor. He did a great job. But anyway, it's a beautiful mask. It's one of my better ones. It held out better than some of my other Dawn Post masks. Now, I did some of the hair work myself. I added hair to it because it was a little sparse. Because the one thing about Dawn Post masks, they were hand glued. So sometimes I think the people that worked on them got a little lazy, especially in the back. So I actually added crepe wool to this mask. And crepe wool is something that you can buy. And it comes out really curly. And you get it wet and you stretch it and let it dry and it comes out more non-curly. And that's what I glued onto the mask, is crepe wool. So that's my Dawn Post Hyde mask. Like I said, it's the one that's held out of all my Dawn Post masks the best, because I bought these masks in the 1970s, a billion years ago. Dr. Jekyll is Mr. Hyde. The teeth are hand painted. Now this one looks a little bit different because I actually added some crepe wool to it to give it more fullness. Because as I've said before, sometimes on the Dawn Post masks, they're a little scarce with gluing the hair, like down here, as you can see. You can see the different coloration from the crepe wool to the Dawn Post hair. This was also used in tarantula. For some reason, instead of doing the acromegalia disease, they used a couple of these type masks. Bud Westmore Studios. Jack Keevan and Chris Muller were the 2 that did most of the work. They probably sculpted these particular molds. The eyebrows you can see are Dawn Post. I actually touched up some of the line work. Someday I may come back and redo the work because it's a little shoddy. As you can see, the hairline, not the best. Looks like a bad toupee. Sorry, Mr. Hyde. You could push it over, though, to get a better look. But anyway, it's a brilliantly well-sculpted mask. And for some reason, and I don't know why, this particular Dawn Post mask held out way better than some of my other monster masks. Sadly, some of them are very bad shape. The Fly! From the original The Fly with David Hedison. Now this one is starting to decay. It's super, when these Dawn Post masks get old, they start to get very solid. They're non-flexible anymore. The latex stiffens up and begins to rot. So I can't move his little googly things. That's gone. And as you can see, one of the antennae, gone. This one glued here, can't really move it without it busting off. I actually repainted these gold. They used to be kind of a gold, but a different gold. And even that is starting to chip off. So this mask is, I've been through the ringer. Only because it's old. It's like 40 years old. It's old. So it's, still with me. Can't take it off of the styrofoam head because it might break. And I don't want to damage it. So if anybody knows how I can, heal this mask, let me know. Write me on Igorro YouTube channel, please. But my thought is, I don't know, maybe there's some way you can heat it up or warm it up, but I think it's kind of, this is it. The Fly, from the movie The Fly. The gold has been repainted and it's still chipping as a little bit, as you can see. The antennae gone. This one kind of stuck here. Afraid to move it too much because it break right off. The little thing right here, the little thing right there, it's kind of solidified. These masks, when they get old, they get very, they solidify, become very stiff and brittle. So you can't wear them anymore. And you certainly don't want to be moving them around too much. You don't even want to take them off the styrofoam heads. People are like, oh, you should have taken better care of them. I had these sealed in a crypt, away from the sun, were very well stuffed and preserved, and they proceeded to rot away anyway. It just happens, folks. There's nothing you can do about it. Like I said, some have maintained better than others. But this was a great mask when I first got it. It's so eerie. Really a cool mask. Again, another Dawn Post special. The fly. You'll even notice there's a little bit of gold highlight in the hairs. The hairs are really well done here. There's little teeny pieces of hair, just like in the movie, and then it gets thicker as it goes back. You can see right here, for example, how it's stiffened up and curled up. If I try to force it down, it'll break right off. The fly. This one, General Aldo, from Captain Company and Famous Monsters of Filmland, which is where I ordered all of my Dawn Post masks. Famous Monsters. Love Famous Monsters. It's so awesome. But this is General Aldo, and again, I ordered this in the 70s. So again, he's kind of solidified. He's become really hard. Can't move his nose. Don't want to, break it or have it crumble. Did a good job gluing the hair on it. It was different. The Planet of the Apes masks were different than the other monster masks that Dawn Post did. These ones, they, instead of painting teeth, which was already in the mold of the mask, they added little teeth that they placed into the mask, which was kind of cool. And you can see they did that here, if you can see, I don't know. But the weird thing is, I actually ordered this mask, and they sent me Dr. Zaius by accident, which I'll show later. And we wrote them and said, "Well, you sent us the wrong one." And they're like, "Oh, sorry, keep it. We'll send you the other one," which is really sweet of them. You wouldn't find a company doing that now. If it was Amazon, now does it just say, "Oh, send it back"? But these guys, in the old days, back in the 1800s, keep it and we'll send you General Aldo. So we kept it. So I have Dr. Zaius too. But again, hand glued, really nice work. I had some neighbors and they had kids that were littler than me. And I put on my General Aldo mask and I hid beside a car, and the little girl was playing hide and seek or something, and she came running on the other side, and she was looking through the window, and I popped my head up. And you can actually move the mouth a little bit in those masks if you put a stocking cap on. So I'm like, and I look at the window, and she's like, ah! She totally freaked out. She ran home, and then later on, her dad was saying, Igorro, because he knew I did it, and I was, I was too embarrassed to come out and say, yeah, it was just me. So that poor little girl to this day is haunted by what I did with my Dawn Post General Aldo mask. The Planet of the Apes, General Aldo. This one again is damaged. You can see how crinkled up it is on the side here. Again, it just is a matter of it sitting for years and the rubber becoming very stiff and brittle. The unique thing about the Planet of the Apes masks, General Aldo here for example, is the teeth are different than the other Dawn Post masks. They're actually pieces that are inserted into the mask as opposed to just painting the teeth on the molding of the mask. In the original movie, of course, the actors' teeth were painted black to cover up their teeth, and then they put this section of the mask was the makeup, the foam latex piece they put on the actor's face, as well as these pieces up here, and then gluing on the hair. The hair for this particular Dawn Post mask, pretty well done. They did a pretty thorough job. Sometimes I think people were more thorough with putting it on the hair, which was hand glued. Other times not so much. You can see where it's glued there. I remember when I went to Don Post Studios as a little Igorro. There were a lot of, looked like housewives. They were smoking, drinking coffee, and they were hand gluing the hair on these masks. It was quite cool. Now masks, I think a lot of the time, they don't hand glue them anymore when they do make masks. Even the new Trick or Treat studio masks, which are really well done, don't have the quality of hair work that I would hope for. But this is General Aldo. And you can see he is coming a bit away at the seams. But initially when I first got this mask, it was a beauty. General Aldo. I ordered this mask from Captain Company, Famous Monsters of Filmland in the back. $40 for a mask, $20 for the hands. And they sent me Dr. Zayas, Dr. Zayas, Dr. Zayas, by accident. And I wrote them and said, hey, I ordered the other one. And they're like, oh, keep Dr. Zayas and we'll send you General Aldo. Which was really cool of them. Loved Don Post. So that's all for Don Post tonight. So take care and remember.